We are on.
Okay, it's June 20th, 7 p.m. We're in the second floor conference room. We'll call to order the City of Brainerd Personnel Finance Committee meeting, and we'll start with introductions.
Kara Terry, Ward 1.
James Crombie, Community Development Director.
Jennifer Bergman, City Administrator.
Connie Hillman, City Finance Director.
Alderman at Large, Kevin Stunick.
Chris Schubert, HR Director.
Sean Middle, Brainerd Wellness Committee.
Tim Holmes with Brainerd Fire.
Gabe Johnson, Chair of the committee. We have 7 items. Sean, I had somebody ask me if you were S-E-A-N or S-H.
SHAWN.
Okay, that was my guess. I was right. Second, but first item on the agenda is to authorize the city janitorial services contract.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So as our current contract is ending here at the end of June, staff solicited an RFP for cleaning services for City Hall, the Police Department, Fire Department, and the Street and Sewer Department. So along with putting this in the paper, staff also reached out by email to the other 5 companies that had bid originally in 2020. So currently Envirotech has cleaned the 4 buildings for the past 3 years and have been very thorough. They use a checklist to make sure they're getting everything done in each room, so nothing's missed. Staff has been very impressed with their work and attention to detail. The other company that also submitted a proposal was North Country Janitorial, who used to clean the police department before all 4 buildings were consolidated into one contract. Staff reached out to the references and received very good responses from 2 of the businesses. The 3rd one did not call back. The 2 other businesses spoke very highly of North Country Janitorial. Also spoke with Chief Davis, who was there at the police department while they were doing the police department cleaning. Said there was no major issues with North Country Janitorial. Maybe things here and there, but not any major issues. You can see in the document there, Envirotech in the first year has a $4,252 per month charge for the 4 buildings. North Country Janitorial is $2,685 per month. Both companies did have a full understanding of the RFP and the services required. Staff does not believe Envirotech's bid is unreasonably high, kind of based on the bids from 2020 and the increase in labor and material costs post-COVID. So certainly there's a large discrepancy on the 2 numbers there. So there is some hesitation and some concern if North Country Janitorial Services were selected kind of based on that difference between the 2 companies, as typically with custodial services, some of the major overhead you have is labor percentage, labor cost, how much time are they spending there. So they haven't done really any of the other 3 facilities. They did do the police department. Their bid was pretty much in line with what they bid back in 2020. But with that being said, speaking with them on what they were expected to do with the police department, we did add kind of one thing based on Chief Davis's recommendation, and also the reviews that I did as well with the companies that they're currently contracted with. Staff is ultimately recommending to contract with North Country Janitorial Services for the 2-year janitorial cycle for the 4 buildings. Certainly answer any other questions.
Any questions?
Nope, I so move.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you, James. Next up is the Employee Appreciation Day. Come on up, Sean.
All right. So, Sean Middle here with the Brainerd Wellness Committee, and asking the council to consider closing for 2 hours from 11:30 to 1:30 on Wednesday, September 6th to conduct the annual Employee Appreciation Event at Lone Park. This is an annual event, been going on for, I'm not even sure how many years, quite a while. Last year was the first time we've had all the City of Brainerd, BPU, airport, pretty much everybody all together in one place. We had 85-ish or so people, and looking to have closer to 100 this year. We did have some concerns that the 1 p.m. and getting everybody back to their offices on time was a little bit of troublesome, getting them back in time with the awards and all that stuff given on out. So we are asking for an additional half hour this year.
Okay, are you doing it at Lum again? it says?
Yes, sir.
Did you consider doing it over at Lyman P. White?
We did not. Lum has a nice pavilion
It's a big pavilion.
and parking for the whole game when they show on up, so.
Okay, any other questions?
No, I make the motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
How do you smoke all that meat in 2 hours?
More than two.
Add a zero.
Yeah. All right, next up is some retirements and paid on-call firefighters, starting with Todd Johnson.
Good evening. Firefighter Todd Johnson submitted his letter of resignation from the Brainerd Fire Department effective July 31st. He had been with the fire department since 2003, Staff's recommendation is to accept with regret the resignation of firefighter Todd Johnson effective July 31st.
I so move.
Second.
With regret.
With regret.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. And the next one, Chris.
Firefighter Jeremy Powell submitted his letter of resignation from the fire department effective July 31st as well. He's been with the department since 2009. Staff's recommendation is to accept with regret the resignation of firefighter Jeremy Powell effective July 31st. Oh, sorry. So moved with regret.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
I was so regretful that I lost where I was at.
Lost in
Yeah.
Authorize the execution of the Community Impact Funding Agreement with Sourcewell. Fire Chief.
Thank you. On April 7th, we came to the council to get approval to apply for the Sourcewell's community impact funding. That was approved with the agreement to come back to this group if we did get the grant. So on the 17th, we got notified that we did receive the full grant for $50,000. So this is just a request to authorize us to execute the agreement with Sourcewell.
I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I have a couple questions, I guess, Tim. I remember Councilmember Chesak was the one who kind of wanted it to come back, because he had some questions on this potentially costing the city more money because we're getting this money. Is it a 50% match or anything?
No
like
match.
that? Okay, and then are we purchasing something that we're going to have to replace with tax dollars in a couple of years?
So the proposal was to purchase fitness equipment
Mm-hmm.
for both the police and fire department, and then the checkup from the neck up, mental health check-ins for both, focusing first on law enforcement, and then if we had enough money, fire department.
Okay, so the fitness equipment, 5 to 7 years, we may be buying more.
Sure.
10,
Yeah,
12,
I mean,
whatever it breaks. But then the neck up to the checkup, potentially, if we find that to be a real successful program in the organization.
Yeah, we would probably come back or try to budget that into our budgets moving forward if it was successful and,
Or another grant.
or potentially another.
Or another, yeah, I'm just asking the questions that I'm
Yeah.
guessing Jeff will ask upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have any other questions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, that motion carries. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, approval of the Juneteenth MOAs. MOA, huh? I suppose that's what it would be.
Did I spell it wrong somewhere?
No, it's memorandums of agreement, not.
Correct, because there's 7 of them.
Yes.
So, as discussed at the last council meeting, Juneteenth was recognized as a state holiday in 2023. Given the short time frame cities were given by the state to have the Juneteenth holiday observed in 2023 instead of 2024 as originally proposed, staff contacted our 7 unions requesting memorandums of agreement clarifying that Juneteenth would be a paid holiday in 2023 for our union employees. The MOAs are required because a holiday is included in their collective bargaining agreement. All 7 unions have agreed to the MOAs, and signed copies of the MOAs were attached to your packet. The MOAs only address the 2023 holiday. Staff will be seeking direction from council during union negotiations for the holidays in future years. Recommended action is a motion to approve the attached memorandums of agreement to observe Juneteenth in 2023 with all 7 unions that represent city employees. So moved.
Second.
Was there any attempt, and obviously it'd be probably futile, but an attempt to just have them swap out Juneteenth for like one of their floating holidays or anything like that?
There really wasn't time.
It was just get it in and worry about it later, okay?
Correct. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get into a closed session, yeah. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, that motion carries. Next up, agreement with Mindor and City for collection of local state use tax.
So the city needs to execute a new agreement with the Minnesota Department of Revenue for the state to continue administering the city's local option sales tax. Basically, the state is changing the administration fee calculation and the payment method that will be start in January of 2024. It's hard to say for sure if the admin fee will be greater, and it was hard to estimate because if you look at in the agreement, the old formula was approximately 1.17%, where now it's going to be a flat fee, but it was, where did I go? Did I go too far? Oh, here we go. So the way they used to calculate it, it was approximately 1.17% of the monthly revenue, and now it's going to be a flat 1.35% of the sales tax. So, I mean, you can kind of guess, but the way the formula was, it wasn't exactly 1.175 or 17%. And staff also inquired if our ordinance needs to be updated, because a part of the agreement is that you would update your ordinance. And talking with the staff at the Minnesota Department of Revenue, they did not think that we needed to do anything because they extend the tax rate, none of it has changed or our projects. So we just need to authorize signatures on this agreement and get it submitted by June 30th.
So move.
One question, just as far as budgetary effects for us, we're still using all of our lost revenue to fund the wastewater treatment facility, right? So as far as general funds or levy dollars, it's not gonna have any impact
Correct.
at all.
Correct.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries, and with that, we'll adjourn at 7:11.